What does Bank Negara do? And some people think that it actually has a direct control over the strength of ringgit. Is it Bank Negara's doing and stuff like that?
Why do we need to make sure that the inflation is stable?
As the world is moving towards a digital world, how money is going to further evolve?
We need to break down those complex into something that is a bit more layman.
Every day also I deal with money, but I'm not so interested in history and all. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Mr. Money TV. And today we're going to explore a very interesting topic, one that concerns all Malaysians. You know, whenever the strength of ringgit goes up and down, right? Many people are wondering how did that actually happen. So today, in order to answer all these questions and to understand money system better in Malaysia, we brought a very special guest into the studio with us. That is Deputy Director of Bank Negara, Niza. Hello, Niza.
Hello, hi Peter.
Thank you very much for coming to the studio today and to answer all these complicated questions that Malaysia has been asking, right? Now, so let's just start with the most exciting one first, huh? Yeah, which is whenever Malaysians look at the strength of ringgit going up and down, we always wonder, right? Does Bank Negara have a part to play in it? What does Bank Negara do? Is it Bank Negara's doing and stuff like that? Can you share that with us?
Okay, Peter. Many people they thought that Bank Negara Malaysia directly control the ringgit whether it goes up or down, but actually it doesn't work that way. The value of ringgit is actually influenced by many factors, whether it's global or domestic influence, such as global oil prices, investor confidence, trade performance, and geopolitical issues.
So here's the thing, right? When we every time hear about Bank Negara, when some people think that it actually has a direct control over the strength of ringgit, but we know that that is not true. I think that's a little bit too complicated. Maybe can you share with us, like if a normal person, a layman, were to come to you and ask, "Hey, Deputy Director Niza, what does Bank Negara do?"
Okay.
How will you answer that then?
Okay, we do get that a lot in the museum. So that is one of the favorite question by the visitors. Or we will ask them. So it's either they are asking us or we will ask them this question. Bank Negara Malaysia buat apa? What is the role of Bank Negara Malaysia?
And what's the most common answer that you get?
You want to guess?
Print money?
Yeah, true. It's that is the most common answer that we got. Bank Negara Malaysia, it's either chop duit, issue money, which the answer is correct. Yes, Bank Negara Malaysia issues our currency, but not only that, it does a lot more than that. Which actually impact our everyday life. Sometimes when people thought about Bank Negara Malaysia, it's always about something that is technical, something that is a bit more complex, that is removed from our daily life. But whatever that Bank Negara does, it does impact our everyday life. So for example, I just give you a few simple example. One of the main role of Bank Negara Malaysia is to ensure that the inflation is stable. Why do we need to make sure that the inflation is stable? So that it will not disrupt your
Betul.
cost of living.
That's right.
For example, if you have 100 ringgit today, when you go to groceries, you can buy a full basket of goods. So what Bank Negara Malaysia does is to make sure that next week, the same value of money is able to give you the same amount of goods.
Betul.
Aha.
Yeah, if not, then you become like one of those countries like dulu Zimbabwe like that.
Correct. Yes, yes.
One day 100 can buy this much. Next day you need 1 million just to buy it, right?
Betul. Okay.
That is crazy.
Other than that, another simple example is Bank Negara Malaysia make sure that the country's financial system is stable. What does it mean? Okay, I'm sure you do know that Bank Negara Malaysia regulates and supervise the key financial institutions such as commercial banks,
Yep.
Islamic banks, the insurance companies,
Mm.
takaful operators, payment system operators. Why do we regulate and supervise them, it's because to make sure that when you save your money in the bank, your money is safe, it's protected. And whenever you use the payment system to pay for whatever that you want to purchase, the system that we use is also protected, is also safe.
Yeah.
So that is part of the main rules of Bank Negara Malaysia.
Right.
If you would like to know more, you have to visit our Bank Negara Malaysia corporate gallery at the museum. We have a lot more to share.
Yes, in fact, the other day I visited your museum, right?
Okay.
And we walked through the museum to learn about the history of money in Malaysia, which I think this is the best time to bring that part of the video in. Let's do that. Encik boleh perkenalkan sendiri sikit? What do you do? Yeah.
Okay. Saya sebagai curator di Galeri Bank Negara Malaysia dan juga Galeri Numismatik, museum dan galeri seni Bank Negara Malaysia.
So apa yang tentang our money, you will be very familiar lah.
Boleh kata macam itulah. So I can say that. So anything you want to know about money, you can ask me.
I see. So let me ask you the first question here, right? Actually, how is our money made today?
Okay, so we have dua jenis duit. Firstly is we have coin, and then another one we have banknote. So maybe I will share about banknote. So untuk banknotes we have dua jenis. So dua jenis material yang dijadikan yang digunakan untuk dijadikan banknotes. Yang pertama sekali cotton. So cotton is paper. So actually kita punya wang kertas kita is not made of paper yang diperbuat daripada kayu. It was made of cotton.
Cotton?
Yeah, cotton. So that's why it's durable. Dia tahan lama. So another material used to produce banknote is polymer.
I see.
So we can see at our RM1 and RM5. So it was made of polymer. So why do we made it polymer? Because these two denomination merupakan denominasi yang paling banyak dalam edaran. So that's why we can see we need something yang durable, tahan lama. So berbanding dengan kertas, polymer lebih tahan lama. So that's why kita tengok wang kertas kita boleh berada lama dalam edaran.
That's why kita bila tengok RM50 tu, it is more cotton.
Yeah, cotton. That's cotton.
But the money that we use regularly, $1, $5 and $10.
RM10 is cotton.
RM1, RM5 and
two only.
Oh, only.
One and RM5 only. Made of polymer.
Of course we use it every day.
Yeah, every day. So kalau kita tengok dalam pasar, di supermarket, so there's a lot of small denomination di pasar kedai-kedai. So duit paling kurang dalam edaran adalah duit 100. Sebab nilai yang besar, kita nak beli nasi lemak, kita bagi RM100. So susahlah untuk tukar. Kan kalau kita pergi RM1 lebih mudah.
I see. Okay, cool. Then what does Bank Negara do when a banknote is old? Because there are times that my banknote is torn, right? Then I go to the bank and I just give it to the bank, they give me back a new note. But what do you do with the money after that?
Okay, so kalau ikutkan, Bank Negara memang kita kawal ataupun kita control the quality of banknotes. So we will make sure, Bank Negara will make sure that all the currency, all our banknotes in circulation is fit. Maksudnya sesuai untuk digunakan. How it is made? Macam mana proses tu dilakukan? So setiap kali banknotes yang kita dah gunakan, so it will be back to bank. So later, so Bank Negara akan proses balik duit tu. So kita akan proses, kita asingkan. Yang mana wang kertas yang masih sesuai untuk digunakan, kita akan recirculate. So kita akan return back to the commercial bank untuk diedarkan ke edaran. Tapi if let's say banknote tu dah mula kita panggil apa, unfit ataupun tak sesuai, dia dah mula lembik, dia dah mula koyak, so kita akan asingkan dan kemudian banknote tu akan dimusnahkan. Akan dilupuskan. So how is it dimusnahkan? Is it kita throw away? No, kita
takkan you buang dalam sampah je.
No, kita tak boleh throw away because walaupun banknote tu dah lembik tapi masih ada value. So that's why how we do it, kita akan shred, kita akan dispose. So this is the example of the shredded banknotes. You can see. Yang ni is a combination of few denomination. Dekat sini kita boleh nampak warna RM10 ada. Warna RM5 pun ada, RM50 ada. So kita mix together semua sekali. So this is a sample. Tapi kalau ikutkan yang dimusnahkan tu ikut denominasi lah masing-masing. Kalau RM1 dia akan together. Dia akan shredkan. So apa yang kita buat ni, benda ni? So kita gunakan konsep waste to energy. So di mana kita akan recycle back this material, this banknote material into something else.
Oh, okay.
So among the product yang kita pernah buat is we have produced the paperweight. So paperweight tu kita masukkan this what we call that this shredded banknotes.
Wow.
So that dia nampak lebih cantik. Bukan sekadar pemberat kertas je lah, kita akan nampak ada design kat dalam tu. Selain daripada tu ada juga kita jadikan pen dan juga tumbler dan juga pen drive. Ini produk antara yang telah kita lakukan lah. Okey, selain daripada tu menggunakan konsep ataupun method waste to energy ni, so we recycle back the material to make the paper. Untuk jadikan kertas dan juga ada jadikan ampau paper punya, ampau pack paper.
I see.
So kita akan pastikan supaya the waste is not being thrown away macam tu lah. So that's one of the initiative. We call it sustainability.
So, Encik Wan, I understand that last time Malaysia have this thing called duit pisang.
Ya, duit pisang.
Can you tell us how it works?
Okay, duit pisang dan also known as banana money. So actually it's not the banana money was issued by Japanese occupation. So Japanese started occupy our country. So actually Japanese has occupied 5 countries. Tanah Melayu, Indonesia, Oceania, Burma and also Filipina. So 5 countries they occupy. Right. So this one is during the World War II since 1941 until 1945. So and then when they came to Malaysia, during that time is Malaya, so they brought together the currency that they printed from Japan, from Tokyo. So we can see this is the banana money. So why we call it the locals call them banana money, because if you look at the design, so you can see the banana tree with the banana on top of the money. So compared to the currency issued by British, they will what we call feature the portrait of their king, their queen. But for Japanese occupation is quite different because they want to kita panggil nak menambat hati penduduk tempatan. So that's why one of the way is they design the banknote based on the scenery. So that's why it's quite different because when we look at the previous colonial, so they will feature their king. So nampak macam penjajahan. This one dia nampak macam dia nak come together. Wow. But actually they have different mission. So menjajah. Also
tapi
menjajah.
tahu ambil hati lah.
Nak ambil hati.
So they use banana instead of their king lah.
Yeah. So from this banknote we can see that before they came to Malaya, so they have sent their intelligence ataupun perisik to see the scenery of the country. So in the Philippines, they put the design of the Philippines. Right. So something related to the Philippines to make sure that the money is close to the citizens' heart. So that's how they want to tackle the country. And then they issued the banknotes. Have you ever heard that this banana money dia pernah macam tak ada value? Pernah dengar kan?
Betul.
So why this happened? Because during the occupation, so one of it they printed without control. So and then another thing is because dia colonial, dia punya penjajahan dah mula jatuh.
Right.
So when the one empire is jatuh ataupun kita panggil collapse, so the currency also will collapse. So during that time in 1945, one British dollar is equivalent to $220,000 banana money. So that's we can see how it is depreciate. So in the Philippines they call it Mickey Mouse money. Just like macam dekat Malaysia kita ada duit Saidina, so there's no value. So they call it Mickey Mouse money because it's like macam duit fantasy. There's no value. So if you want to purchase one piece of egg, you may need more than $1,000.
Right.
But we can see the denomination they use is dollar instead of yen. So this is because to differentiate their currency that they occupy and also their own currency. So if let's say something happened to the currency they occupy the country, so value duit mata wang negara dia tak akan jatuh lah, tak akan ada effect kat situ. Yang tak effect because this is dollar.
Right. So, Injuan, I have a question for you, right? Why Malaysian money is called ringgit? How did it came about?
Okay, so firstly we need to know what is the meaning of ringgit. So ringgit semua orang tahu kan, perkataan ringgit is
Money.
is nama duit, ringgit.
Okay.
Tapi ringgit tu actually it is the Malay language yang bermaksud gerigi.
Oh.
Gerigi macam gergaji gerigi ataupun kita panggil serrated in English or jagged. So you can see in this coin. So nampak tak gerigi. So this is ringgit. So yang ni saya rasa ramai orang tak tahu.
I see.
So maybe you pun first day tahu hari ni kat
Yeah,
sini.
yeah. So
Kan?
it's the jagged.
It's the jagged,
sides that
made it
called
ringgit.
ringgit.
So but how this macam mana benda ni boleh berlaku? So macam mana orang boleh mula call ringgit? Yang tu yang kita nak tahu kan?
Yes.
So when we look at the history, so in 16th century, abad ke-16 Masihi, so the traders from outside, from Spanish, from Spain, from America semua tu dia datang, dia bawa kita panggil sebagai Spanish silver dollar. This is Spanish silver dollar, you can see in this showcase. So we display it, and then during this time, so the local call them as the ringgit meriam. So ada nampak macam this is Spanish, kita panggil apa, ada Hercules Tower. So that one we call it ringgit meriam, and this is people call this as ringgit landak because the design nampak macam
Landak.
duri,
Yeah.
landak. So ada juga yang panggil ringgit patung. We can see King Carolus IV, the ruler of portrait. So that one they call it ringgit patung. And then later in late 1800, so British started to issue the British trade dollar. So you can see that gold, British trade dollar. So dekat situ dah ada perkataan ringgit. But before that, they just call it as a nama saja.
Right.
Ringgit landak, ringgit patung, ringgit meriam. And then later, in this what we call that British trade dollar, it officially used the word ringgit.
Oh, so it was more like a nickname at first.
And
then later it got adopted as official.
Yeah, okay, ringgit. So, but it was spelled in Jawi language because previously Malay states used Jawi as official writing. Okay, and then later in 1845, so one of the private bank known as the Oriental Bank Corporation, so they issued the banknote with the ringgit denomination. So we can see in Jawi scripting, lam yamim is 5 or 5, and this rongagata is ringgit. So this banknote was issued to be used in Singapore. Previously, Singapore is part of Malaysia.
I see.
So this is when the banknote when the word ringgit is started to be adopted in banknotes.
I see.
So later in 1967, since our locals dah mula, rakyat Malaysia dah mula familiar with the word ringgit, so kita pun dah panggil ringgit. $1 is equivalent to 1 ringgit during that time. So in 1967, Bank Negara Malaysia started to issue our own currency, and we adopt the name ringgit as our currency name. But during that time, we call it as a dollar, Malayan dollar. Malayan dollar. So because still ada pengaruh British lagi lah. Because duit British dulu yang kita pakai sampai tahun 1969 is a dollar, $1.
Right.
So during that time, $1 is equivalent to 1 ringgit.
Yeah. So there's two names. There's the English name and the local name.
And then biasanya orang-orang Melayu yang lama dia akan panggil Malayan dollar. But for the newest dia akan panggil ringgit.
Okay, Injuan.
Yes.
So last time there was barter trade. Tapi after barter trade, how did Malaysia's money evolve?
Okay, so of course our country pun menggunakan barter trading. So started long time ago, but barter trading kita tengok is one system. It's a system that is very complex. So we need to find someone who want our product. So for example, kita ada ikan dan kita nak cari beras. So and then suddenly orang yang ada beras tu tak nak ikan kita. So we have to change with another person to get the beras. It's very complex, very complicated. So that's why currency was issued to facilitate the trading. So currency ni mata wang yang pertama di dunia yang dikeluarkan pada abad ke-7 sebelum Masihi. Long time ago.
Alright.
By a Lydian one of the empire in Yunani ataupun we call it near to Empire Yunani or Greek. So nowadays the place is in Turkey. In Turkey. So they issued the Lydian status.
Right, so Turkey was the first place where there was money.
Yes, actually. So during that time, our country still using barter trading. And about 4,000 years ago, so our country also started using cowrie shell. This is the cowrie shell, you can see.
Right.
Kulit siput gerus. So this has been used as one of the currency.
Right.
Okay, among ada shape of currency jugalah. So bermacam-macam jenis. But this one is used to purchase a small item. For example, you want to purchase some foods or clothing, so you can use this cowrie shell.
Right.
So this cowrie shell actually dia ada related dengan our building, so our Sasana Kijang building. So if you see from the top, the design of the Sasana Kijang, so we inspired this cowrie shell. So dia ada curve panjang macam tu sikit, bentuk cowrie shell. And then later our country also reach with what we call that tin. Tin mining area kan. So ada gold, ada tin. So kalau gold tu Malay Sultanate started to issue gold coin. Kita ada keluarkan kupang. Kupang is the denomination. Kalau sekarang ni kita panggil ringgit ataupun sen. But during that time kupang is denomination for small gold coin. Kupang. So the weight is about 0.6 gram. So and then kita ada keluarkan juga. So during that time Malay Sultanate keluarkan juga emas. So MAS, the spelling is emas is one emas is equivalent to 4 kupang. So that's the exchange. And then ada juga duit-duit yang diperbuat daripada tembaga, daripada timah dan juga daripada silver. So antara mata wang yang dibuat daripada timah yang agak menarik is we can see animal shape money. So
yeah, so like you said, Johan, actually I was always very curious. Why does our old money have animal shape? Isn't it not very convenient?
Yeah. So actually kalau dari segi convenient tu memang to me is kurang convenient lah. It's not really convenient.
I don't think I can put this in my pocket.
Yeah. But actually this animal shape money is related to the tin mining area. So because during that time, so especially in 18th to 19th century, so our Malay states during that time dia memang kaya dengan kita panggil apa? Biji timah dan proses pelombongan biji timah. So during that time, the tin mining owners they believe that each of the tin mining area tu ada semangat. They have the spirit yang boleh mengganggu proses pelombongan biji timah. So that's why they do something macam amalan ataupun satu perkara yang boleh mententeramkan. They can calm the spirit. So one of it we can see this is the cockroach shaped money and this one is a goat shaped money is related to sacrifice. So previously they sacrificed the actual animal and then to calm the spirit. Yeah. And then later they issued the item in the cockroach shape and also goat shape as the symbolic. So how they do it? So they will bury ataupun tanam this animal shape money at the setiap four corners, setiap penjuru of the tin mining area. Then during that time animal shape money was issued in about 7 to 8 design. So this is a crocodile shape, and this is elephant shape, grasshopper shape, and also turtle and tortoise shape. So each of the shape has its own meaning. So kalau macam elephant shape ni, kadang orang nampak macam kumbang, but actually this is elephant, just like beetles, kumbang. So and then it's meant for ketahanan ataupun kekuatan sesebuah lombong biji timah tu. And then kalau macam bentuk crocodile and also fish is related to the water. So that's why they believe that the source of tin will flow inside the tin mining area.
Right. So all these are, while it is money, it is also like a blessing like that.
Yeah. But some of the numismatists also have few opinions. They also said that this is not just currency. It was also used as the present to the rulers, hadiah kepada pembesar-pembesar pada waktu itu. And some of these items were used to pay taxes or penalties.
I see.
And some of it were used as the toys for their kids. But untuk toys tu macam something yang kita panggil maybe kurang logic sikit lah, because this is tin, it's not plastic. So that's my opinion. But there's the write-up saying that this item were used also as a toys.
All right, now we have finished watching the part. Now, I would encourage all of you guys to actually go and check out the museum and art gallery. It's really amazing. But here's the thing, right? Niza, after going through the whole gallery, I realized that there's a number of things that's really very important when it comes to money. First thing first, trust, right? And why is it so important, this whole trust thing about money?
Okay. Have you heard about this phrase, Peter? Money only works because people believe it works.
Yes, that's a very profound phrase. And what is Bank Negara's role in this whole thing to cultivate trust?
Okay. Right after independence in 1957, Malaysia as a new country, as a new nation, at that point of time, it's very, very important for us to have control on our monetary arrangement. So in order for you to be fully independent, you need to take charge, you need to take control of your currency, you need to take control of your financial system. So in the gallery, in the Bank Negara Malaysia gallery, we do showcase the role of Bank Negara Malaysia and why is it important to have a central bank after independence. So one of it is to have economic independence, where a new country, a new nation, you need to take charge of you need to take control of your currency, of your interest rate, of your monetary policy. If we don't have a central bank, then it's difficult for us to take control of the inflation.
True.
It's difficult for us to make sure that the financial system works ethically.
Yeah. I think I do feel quite a sense of pride when I walk through that gallery, right? Seeing that first signature of the establishment of Bank Negara. It does feel good as a Malaysian looking at that. I think the next station made me feel even better. The station where the demo gold vault is.
Oh, okay. Is that your favorite exhibit?
I mean, it's always good looking into a gold vault, imagining all the gold there, right?
Okay.
And what do you think, if you were to share with us, the mission of this museum and art gallery, what is it?
Okay, people heard about Bank Negara Malaysia. Bank Negara Malaysia, it's quite common. But Bank Negara Malaysia as an institution, we have our rules. But the role of the museum is to be the bridge of Bank Negara Malaysia and also the public. So what we do is we need to break down those complex, those technical information into something that is a bit more layman. And we love to use this word rakyat friendly. So whenever we come up with a new content, we have to make sure that the public can understand, or else it will be like shot sendiri lah kan.
That's true. That's true. This museum and art gallery is actually not as small. I remember the first time I went there, right? Someone told me that there's a museum and art gallery. And I bodoh-bodoh pergi. Then when I asked the person, the guard there, the guard said he just pointed at one direction. So I thought the hall down there beside the cafe, that was it all.
Okay.
So I went back and I told my my wife, I kata, hey, that's a very small museum. Until recently when I went, I realized that it's actually quite big.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you share with us like actually just how big it is?
Okay, I'll just share with you a bit of background about the museum. We started way back in 1989 with one small numismatic gallery. We call it Money Museum. And then in 2011, we moved to Sasana Kijang. From one gallery, we expanded to 6 permanent galleries.
Wow.
We have children's gallery, we have Islamic finance gallery, we have economics gallery, we have Bank Negara Malaysia gallery, we have the numismatic gallery, the Money Museum, and also art gallery. But the main role of Bank Negara Malaysia Museum and Art Gallery is to translate whatever the bank is doing into something that is more relatable, including art. So we do receive this a lot when people ask, as a central bank, why do you need to collect art?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question. I never thought about that. Why does
Ah.
Bank Negara actually have an art gallery? I mean, I can understand the money museum part, like how money is made and stuff like that. But why art gallery?
Okay, interestingly, an artwork can actually translate a lot of technical information into something a bit more creative. So when we showcase our artwork, when we organize, when we have art exhibition, we call it temporary exhibition because usually the duration will be around 6 months. It's not purely picking an artwork and just hang it. We do have a team that actually curate the whole exhibition with a message to be passed to the public. So we also use, other than showcasing the cultural part, the heritage part, we also use the artwork to showcase the socio-economic development of the country.
Wow, that's very true as well. Yeah, I think at every stage of development of the people, art does represents the culture, the situation at that time, and I came to realize one thing. Actually, one day is also not enough to visit the whole museum. It's actually quite a lot of stuff to see, right? Quite a lot of stuff to see. Although because I'm Mr. Money, I do enjoy the money part the most, right? But maybe to further dive down a little bit, right? If I am someone who wants to understand what is the role of Bank Negara today, right? Which part of the museum tells me that, or what in the museum tells us that?
Okay, if you would like to know about the role, specifically the role of Bank Negara Malaysia, you should visit our corporate gallery, our Bank Negara Malaysia gallery. If you want to know anything about Bank Negara, that is the place.
Right, I see. So once I go there, I go through it, I'll be somewhat an expert lah.
Yes.
And how important is it for a Malaysian to actually know that?
Okay, going back to the trust part that you mentioned earlier, in order for us to get the public to have confidence on Bank Negara Malaysia, they need to understand it. So when they understand the role of Bank Negara Malaysia, how does it impact their everyday life? It's not something that is being removed from their everyday life. They will gain the trust, they will gain the confidence.
That's true. Yeah, I think when I went through that whole gallery, the corporate side, I did notice there are a lot of interactive exhibits that allow us to, instead of just reading through a textbook and saying that, hey, this is what Bank Negara does, right?
Yeah.
There were the trading counters, there were the meeting rooms, and
Yeah.
all the different stuff that allow us to have that more hands-on experience, right?
Right,
Yeah, to
right.
really understand
Right.
it. And the next part of it is also this. I enjoy seeing the development of currency because I'm a history guy actually. Yeah, so back then in school we used to study sejarah, tengok the how the money is like, and I still remember there was this big wheel there, right? Yeah, and I remember it from my textbook. It said that
Okay.
was the money back then, and then all the little jongkong emas, all the
yeah.
different kind of things,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
and the money tree, right? Yeah, the pokok duit.
Yep.
Seeing all the empires and the banana money. Yeah. And I was just wondering to myself, right? Coming to the end of that, part there as well. We talked about printing money and recycling money, which was really interesting because it shows us also the exact samples, right, of the shredded money there. Yeah. I'm starting to realize that that is quite a lot of things that we can actually learn from it. But one part here I want to ask you, right? As the world is moving towards a digital world, how is the Bank Negara Museum and Art Gallery gonna share with us of the role of digitalization and
Okay.
how money is gonna further evolve?
Okay, going back to the trust part, we do have two galleries. Okay, if you're talking about digital payment, right? The
Yes.
question was on digital payment. We in our gallery we have economics gallery and also Bank Negara gallery where we have a special section only talking about payment system. So the one in economics gallery, it tells more about the back end flow of the payment system, which we wanted to show that the system behind it is secured, is protected. And the one in Bank Negara Malaysia, it's more of sharing the role of Bank Negara Malaysia in supporting payment system.
Right. Yeah, I think as the world moves ahead, as it becomes more and more digital, right? I think the concept of money also is becoming more and more abstract. Like I was just imagining to myself a big part of it, we can still show the paper, but as we go more and more digitized, it's more about systems.
Yeah.
It's more about concepts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I was wondering how difficult is it for the team to actually put all this together?
It is not easy. Usually, when people say that, oh, you are from Bank Negara, of course, you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of materials. You just need to just take it and just put it in the gallery. It doesn't work that way. So, our role, the most difficult part is for us to understand the technical, the complex information, and then to translate it into something that is a bit more layman. And we need to also carefully curate what need to be in and what we don't need to include.
Right.
Because sometimes when you put a lot of information, it might be a bit more, like intimidating. Too
Right?
much. It's too much. Then usually the visitor will just
Zone out ni.
yeah.
Sudah tak faham kan?
Yeah. And we have different galleries. The method of curating the content, it's a bit more different lah. For children's gallery, it's a bit more, we transform this complex finance world into a playground where if the kids enter the children's gallery, there's a lot of interactive games. There's role play. So we wanted to teach them a bit more about saving, but in a very playful, main-main punya way of doing it lah.
Right.
So if I can quote one of the exhibit where we have these two big screen, you are given 1 million ringgit. What will you do with this 1 million ringgit in 1 minute?
Wow.
So that is where you can see that the kids will choose what they want. But at the end of the game, it will showcase that what is your needs, what is your wants.
Wow.
Which one is more important? So indirectly, we are also educating the children so that
Financial literacy.
Yes.
Oh.
The basic of financial
I
literacy.
see. I do understand that you actually have a very sought after children's program. In fact, I remember the last time when I went and visit, you have some sort of a children festival. Can you share with us what are some of the programs lineup you guys have, and what are some of the efforts that you're doing to make it more lively and to ensure people come and get a good experience out of it?
All right. You did mention about Children's Festival. Yes, that is our annual event where we have this Children's Festival at the end of the year usually, and it will run about 1.5 months. And we'll come up with different theme, but the focus, it's always about financial education, is to teach the kids from young the importance of savings,
Wow.
the importance of financial management. And besides Children's Festival, every month we do have different types of programs. It can be museum, it can be the any of the galleries related, it can be an art and craft, it can be workshop. There's a lot. And in order for you to know more about our programs, please follow us on our social media.
Okay, we're going to attach the link of the social media down in the description. So for those of you, especially if you're like me, you have kids, right? Yeah, I think it's a fantastic place to bring your children to, a best place to learn about financial literacy. And because there are so many different galleries, I do notice you can probably bring your children there like more than 2 times a year or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now that we're done with kids, what about people without kids, right? Why should we go to this museum? What are we going to get out of it?
Okay. We have one children's gallery, but the rest is for the rest. We have one floor that is dedicated to finance, econs related, where we have Islamic Finance Gallery, where it talks about everything about Islamic finance, about Islamic banking, about takaful, the Islamic money market. It's everything, it's there in the gallery. And we have another gallery that is called Economics Gallery. That is also a gallery that suitable for secondary students and above. We talk about the transformation of the country. We talk about payment system. We talk about our financial sector in a very creative method, where if you visit these financial galleries, you can see that it's a bit more interactive compared to the numismatic gallery. Because when you read about the old money, you did mention, right, when you were young,
Buku sejarah,
it's in your buku sejarah. And then when you visited the gallery, when you have a look at the actual item,
Yes.
it feels good, right?
Yes.
So that is why in the numismatic gallery you can see there's a lot of artifacts. But in the financial galleries, the topic is a bit more complex. The topic
Yeah.
is a bit more technical. So the toughest part is to translate it. That is one. And how do we present it? The method of presentation. So you can see that in the Islamic Finance Gallery, the Economics Gallery, and the Bank Negara Gallery, it's a bit more interactive. We use a bit more technology in order for people to come and experience it. We wanted them to experience the method of presentation first, and then along the way they learn about the bank.
Right, right. Now, Nisa, can you share with me, right, in order for us to end this episode today, if there's someone asking you this question, dah lah, every day also I deal with money, what?
Yeah.
And then I think, I'm not so interested in history and all. Kenapa I masih perlu pergi this museum? What can benefit me?
Okay, if your interest is about money, then what we can offer is we have a lot of tips on financial management.
Oh.
So it can help you to manage your money. But trust me that when we have visitors, we have visitors that come to see different types of gallery. We have people from who's passionate about art, people who's passionate about history. So they come to the museum just to visit that specific gallery, but they end up visiting all the galleries.
Yup. Macam saya lah.
Yeah. Because when you enter the museum, you can feel that there's at least one part that is dedicated to you.
That's very true. That's very true. No, for those who are watching out there, maybe I'll share with you why you should visit the museum as well. Help yourself it a bit. Yeah. Well, of course, because my name is Mr. Money, right? Here's what I think. I think that as the world is evolving today, and we are dealing more and more with money. And money is a big part of our life, right? I realize that to really make good decisions about money, it's good to have as many information as you can. It's not as simple as saying you just know how to save or know how to invest.
Yeah.
But when you understand how money works, it overall helps you not just in managing money, but even in business as well, because business is all about money. Kan?
Correct.
Like, for example, basic economic theory like supply and demand and stuff like that, how a country decides on how Bank Negara's role is in influencing inflation and the rest of the things. It allows you to be able to read news and say, okay, I know what's coming ahead.
Yeah.
And because like what Niza mentioned earlier, right? All these are very abstract. Bila you baca dekat buku
Newspaper.
finance or those, you kind of don't really get it.
Yeah.
But this one you get hands-on.
Betul.
And it helps you to understand it better.
Yeah.
So I encourage actually all Malaysians to really go and visit this. And the most important thing, how much do we need pay?
It's free of charge.
And we are Malaysians. We love free things. And that's all the reason you need to visit the Bank Negara Malaysia Museum and Art Gallery. Niza, is there any last things that you want to share with us? Like if today I were to go there, maybe you leave us with this. What is one section, in your opinion, you have to visit?
You have to visit the numismatic gallery.
I agree. You will get to see all the different paper notes, how money evolved, and the best part is you get to see how money is being recycled. And I thought that's probably only the only place in Malaysia that you can see such an exhibit, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no other place will allow that. So do go and check it out. Thank you very much, Niza, for being with us today. I look forward to have you more in future.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter.